Hi, everybody out there. We just want to say thank you very much for joining Travel with Mark and Maria. I am Mark,
I'm Maria.
all right, where we focus on giving you an older perspective of leisure travel, where we don't focus on trying to get 10 things accomplished in a day, but we try to focus on the quality of the one or two things we're able to accomplish each day. Things we see, learn, people we interact with, and the places we go while we're traveling the globe. And again, we're in no rush, trying to find cost-effective ways in which we can explore this globe and countries. And over the next few months to a year, we're going to talk a lot about um, those things that are important.
Hi there. So, I'm Maria. Um, a little bit about myself. I'm born and raised in Manila, Philippines, and migrated to America in the 1980s, mid 1980s. And right away, I joined the military, and where they shipped me to
Your first assignment
to
now.
my first duty assignment, which is in Germany, where I met this young man, and well, I fell in love, and yes, that was not so long ago, but so that was I don't know, 2 kids and 3 grandchildren ago, 37 years ago. That's about right. Um, we got married in a little town called Svenborg, Denmark, and been traveling around the world. So that's why we would like to take you to our journey, started this journey, and just share some of our experiences.
So you just heard from Maria there, and again, I'm Mark, uh, born and raised in Jamaica, in the West Indies. Migrated to the U.S. early '80s, um, and like Maria, I joined the service, and we spent a career in the service, and then serving those in the service, and then serving our community in a nonprofit. So we've basically spent a lifetime in
Of
public
service.
service, um, and those jobs afforded us, or career paths afforded us the ability to move a lot. So together we've moved roughly 18 times
Mhm.
since we've been married, and that's about 38 years ago that we met. And we've moved 18 times between Europe, Asia, Southeast Asia, um, Germany, Japan, Korea, and the U.S. And we've had the ability to do some short-term travel. So at this point in our life, we're trying to now focus on more
Us.
long us and more long-term travel where we're not in a rush. That's why we said we're going to, focus our we're going to emphasize leisurely travel, if you will, and trying to just enjoy each moment, each experience, each interaction as it comes, and try to extrapolate the things that we find important, things that we've learned through our careers, that help us to look at things with a different eye, if you will. But again, focusing on things that are important to people within our age group when you travel, so you can enjoy your travel, to be safe, and also to really have know how to access the resources you need when it's time. And so hopefully, the goal is that you will learn along with us as we travel. So Maria, again, you've had the pleasure and the fortune of living in the United States, living in Europe, Germany specific, and living in Asia, Japan and Korea. Um, what's what stands out to you overall about all those moves?
Um, Sorry, guys. It's really really windy, and my hair is not cooperating. But one thing about it is that I moved out of the Philippines in 1985, and I have been moving since then. We moved 18 times, and we've been to we visited so many places. But one thing that I can truly say is that I truly appreciate is the differences in each location, that shows that no matter how much different each place is, we all want the same thing. We all want um, good food. People are nice, people are kind, people love to help. You know, the Japanese people are very reserved, but when you need help, they'll help you. The Philippine people are very open and hospitable, and they just love to help. Here we are right now. We are in Bangkok, Thailand, and everybody's just smiling. I mean, as soon as they see you, they just have this big smile on their faces. In Germany, it's the same way. People just want to open their hearts. So no matter where you are in the world, people are so kind, and people just want to get to know you. So I I want you guys to travel with us as we show you the different part of this world. Okay. So Mark, what about you? What about tell us about our travels, because you did a lot of research and you took
Well,
me to so many different places.
right. Well, again, while we were in Europe, in Asia, and the U.S., one thing I like to do with my free time was I like to ride
Mm-hmm.
motorcycles, but not just to ride for riding. I try to ride to explore and to go to new places. So, you know, it was just a way of traveling. So, through Europe, Japan, and the U.S., I try to find the landmarks, the areas uh, that I find interesting, and plot my rides, to go in those directions. And along the way, hopefully, we get to meet as many people as possible, try the different foods, as we said earlier, as well as,
Mm-hmm.
just really try to enjoy the terrain, because I prefer the mountainous terrains. Again, born in Kingston, Jamaica, again, we have Blue Mountain. Then living in Japan, Mount Fuji. Living in Washington, we have Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helen, um, all the way down on the west coast, all the mountains. Japan itself being very mountainous, about 90% mountainous. Uh, so I really have an appreciation for the outdoors and the mountainous terrain. So I try to find routes that were twisty, but routes that made sure I can get a better appreciation uh, for not just the destination, but the journey and everything that comes along with that. So it allowed me to do those things. So um, I'm just truly grateful for those aspects of living in different places, but also being able to travel um, in a way that I feel brings me um, more joy, if you will, and allow me to really and truly experience um, So right now, as we said earlier, we're embarking on global travel, and we're embarking on uh, leisure travel, if you will, but not so much where we're in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
So our goal is to spend hopefully at least 30 days minimum in each country, and all of that is based on time of the year, the type of weather, and visa requirements, all of those things that make it possible within a specific country. Uh, so we're gonna spend this time in Southeast Asia primarily, and then bounce around um, once we feel we've accomplished uh, absorbing and truly understanding the country's culture, the country's history, and how to navigate the systems within the country
Mm-hmm.
that allow us to, not necessarily be like an expat who's decided that country is where they're going to make home, but one level below that of a long-term traveler, so I can find medical, I can find just whatever it is, groceries. Where do I need to go? Where do the locals go? And how can I keep my costs in check? Because again, we're living on fixed income, so we want to make sure we can do more with less. Um, so trying to find the right locations to stay. And as we said earlier, we were blessed through our careers that we have a lot of friends who are now expats, or who continue to work in many of these countries that we get to see and hopefully get to stay with along the way, um, as we travel. So my travel expectation, is based on my background, and I've spent a lot of time in planning, logistics,
Mm.
city management, and managing and owning, running a nonprofit. And so I'm trying to look at best practices, things that country may be doing, you know, that I think we can apply to some aspect of business elsewhere or in the U.S. as we try to pursue other things in life, simultaneously as we're doing this or after we're finished this. What are the best business practices we can take? Like hospitality or customer service, or
Mm-hmm.
just how to manage transportation,
Mm-hmm.
effective transportation. So that's some of my expectations. Maria, what's some of your expectations? Based.
Well, um, as I mentioned earlier, um, I was a relocation program manager, and that's because if you guys remember, uh, in the beginning of the video, we said we moved 18 times. So by moving 18 times, that kind of earns me a PhD in the art of relocating. So I can write the book on packing and unpacking, moving, and what are the things that you need to do, because not too many people know that moving from one country to another is not just about packing and unpacking. You got to make sure that you take care of medical. You need to make sure that your children are taken care of. The education. You need to make sure that banking. There's so many things that you have to do. And as I said, you guys are in the right hands. So I know there's going to be a lot of videos out there about traveling and everything, and you can learn from all of those things. But join us too, because you you're going to learn something from us. First of all, expert here. So you'll learn something from me, you'll learn something from Mark, and we will all learn together as we travel Asia and wherever else we go. Who knows? We might even go to Germany. But for right now, we're in Asia. So just hang in there and be with us.
So again, we want to just thank you for following along with us, um, coming along with us, if you will, as we go on this journey, as we explore Southeast Asia right now. Um, and one good thing, to show how committed we are in what we're doing, um, we have nowhere to go back home to. You know, we've put our houses up for rent; they've all rented out. Um, so we have to be successful at this. We have to learn and understand how to navigate all the things we would normally um, use for everyday life back home. The only difference is in some of these countries, the cost is much
Mhm.
cheaper, which is a positive. Um, so, again, thank you very much for coming along with us. And we look forward to seeing you out there
Oh,
and hearing from you on our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and also on YouTube as we put out um, our products, if you will, our content for you to view and enjoy.
one thing. So we mentioned earlier that we are in Bangkok, Thailand, and the water behind us is brown because it's typhoon season, rainy season, and they had a what you call
Mudslide.
mudslide. So that's why it's so brown. But it's not always like that. And one good thing about here is that you can travel by train, by plane, by tuk tuk, by taxi, by grab, and also by boat. So we will be traveling on all of those things.
All right, thanks, and see you out there.